So, we're going to dig up some hosta. My daughter needs a start of it. Now, hosta isn't something that necessarily needs to be dug up and divided, but it's a good way to get more of them, to propagate more. The best time to do it, well, in fact, the only time to do it is in the really early spring. The best time is when there's just very little spears coming out of the ground. I've kind of waited a little bit too long on this. It'll be all right, but it's better if I can do it when they look like this rather than when they look like that. You don't ever want to try and dig something up and divide it in the summertime when it's got a lot of growth on it, because you'll kill it. But if you do it in the early spring, they move really, really well. So I'm just going to go ahead with my shovel, and you see how we've got this big patch here and this little patch over here? I think I'm going to dig this piece up and give that to her. So, let's take my shovel. There we have a really nice piece of hosta. So we'll go on and take it over to her house and plant it. So my daughter wants to fill this whole area with ferns and hostas. She has a lot of ferns, and I'll show you those in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and plant some hostas, and then I'll show you the ferns. So when you're replanting something, you always want to have it at the same depth that was that you dug it out. So you're going to need to dig a hole that's big enough that it won't be too deep, and also you don't want to have it sticking up out of the ground. So this looks about right. Move that. So now we're about at the same level. So I'm going to go ahead and put water in. I always put the water in right on the roots before I fill it in. And then we're going to fill this in and pack it in around nice and tight. You don't want any air pockets in there. So there we go. And it will do great. Now while we're here, let me show you a fern. This is what they look like. She's got ferns all over. They make these funny hard knobs. We're going to go ahead and dig one of these ones that are so close to the front. We're going to dig one out and plant it back here farther. Oh, I got some tree root in there too. Ugh. Okay, here's the fern. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move that back in here, back closer amongst the hostas. And this is really all there is to it. It's super easy. The big thing when you're transplanting things, when you're dividing things, is the timing. Early spring, before they've got a lot of growth on them, is perfect. If these were up and growing in the summertime, you would never want to try and move them because you'll kill them. But when they're early spring like this, they move, they transplant, and they divide really, really easy. So there you got it.